So I saw this lovely headwear on Instagram and I decided to film the process of making it and share with you. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Without wasting much time, let's dive into the tutorials.
Alright, so it have a pleat and a knot design on top of it. So the knot design is quite separate from the pleat. So the material we'll be using is a sequence fabric, and you need a stretchy fabric too. Then you'll also be needing our foam, but the foam is optional. You can also use wadding in place of foam, though it's optional, just like I said earlier. So let's jump into the tutorials. Alright, out to cut out the base of my fabric. Alright, so this is the base of my fabric and it measures 26 inches by 20 inches. Alright, so I'm going to, this is the right side of my fabric, so I'm going to make a pleat this way, like 1 inch is coming inside. Okay, can you see what I did? I made a pleat just like this. Alright, so I'm not going to attach external bands to it, so this pleat is going to serve as the band. So I'm going to use pin to hold it down. I'm going to use pin to hold it down all the way to the end. So let me quickly do that and show you. This is it. I'm trying to hold the pleat with a pin. Alright, so that it will be very easy for me when I want to stitch. So I'll extend it and pin. So after this, I'm going over to the other side to pin it down. So I'm taking it over to this side to extend my pleat. So after extending your pleat, the next thing you have to do now is to stitch. Alright, so if you don't have a sewing machine, you can use your needle and thread and stitch it down. This is going to be like 3 fabrics. Okay, so you're going to stitch it down from this place all the way down. So let me do that quickly and get back to you. So this is it. I have stitched this, as you can see. So this is how it looks when I turn to the right part. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to mark like between 3 to 5 inches for the plates, because it's going to be a pleated turban cap. So I'm going to take it 3 inches at once. So I'm going to mark it at the back. So I'm taking 3 inches. So from the band I measure 3 inches and mark. So let me get my chalk. I mark 3 inches, then I extend the 3 inches again by 3 inches, just like that. Then 3 inches, another 3 inches, another 3 inches, and I'm going to leave the other one that is remaining. So now I'm going to still come to this place and extend the 3 inches so that I will join it with a straight line. Alright, so I'm still going to mark 3 inches from here. So let me start from 16. In order not to confuse you, let me mark it the way I marked initially. This is 3 inches, 3 inches. So after marking the 3 inches, I'm going to join the 3 lines together in order to have a straight line. So let me do that off camera and show you. So I am done with that, and I don't know if you can see the lines. I have connected it and I have a straight line from here from here down to this place. So what I'm going to be doing is, I don't know if you can actually see the lines, but if you cannot see it, let me know so that I'll know what to do, or rather I will illustrate on a paper. All right, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to pick this line, this first line, just like this, then stitch like 0.25 inches, just very small. This is just to form a pleat. Then I'm going to stitch it all the way down. Then after stitching the first one, I go over to the second line, I fold into two and stitch. The line there is just to guide me to form the pleat, although I will leave a link with you on how I made a similar thing, though it's not exactly like this, but it's similar. At least it will help you understand the pleats better. All right, so let me go over to my sewing machine and stitch. All right, so after stitching, this is what I have, and this is the back. So but you can use this part as the front, depends on the design you are working on. All right, so this is the front part of the design we are working on, and that's beautiful. So now I'm going to work on the pleat that's going to be on top of it, and I have already cut out the measurement, which is about 8 inches by 26 inches. The length is exactly the same with this, the length of this. All right, so now I'm going to fold it together with the right side facing each other. This is the right side. Okay, the right side is inside. Then I'm going to stitch it all the way down from one end to the other end. So let me do that quickly and get back to you. So this is it, I'm done stitching it. I'll go ahead and turn to reveal the right part. So I'm going to cut out my foam, which is about I think 4 inches. Yes, 4 inches by 26 inches or 24 inches, so that you have space at the end. All right, so let me quickly do that and get back. So this is the foam. I'm going to insert it right inside this fabric. So I'm going to fold it this way with my pin. So I'm going to put it inside, insert it inside. Then one important thing, make this sewn part to be at the center, so that it won't be seen when your client puts it on. All right, so I'm going to continue pushing it in carefully so that it doesn't separate. This foam is kind of fragile, so I'll continue pushing it inside until it gets to the other end. So as you can see, it has gotten to the end, so I will now pull gently. All right, so I'm going to pull it gently in order to cover the whole foam. So you are going to take this step gently, so that your foam will not break along the line. So let me continue doing that. So this is it, I'm done doing it, and this is what I have. So I'll have to get my base now. This is the base, and I'm going to cut it. So I'm taking 1 inch from these two ends. This is the band area. So because I want it to have a backdrop effect, that's why I'm cutting out 1 inch, just 1 inch from this end, then 1 inch from the other end too. So this is the band area. This is the band area. All right. So I want it very fitted on my head. It's a stretchy fabric too. So now after that, the next thing I'm going to do now is to attach this thing, this plate, to the end and hold it down with my pin. So I'm going to hold it down with my pin at both ends. Okay, so I'm going to take it down to the other side and hold. So now after this, I'm going to fold it together just like that. Okay, for this I forgot to tell you, for this pleats, you can use any fabric of your choice. You can use sequins, you can use any fabric you want to use. All right, it's just that I don't have sequins. I would have loved to use sequins for these pleats, okay, instead of this fabric. All right, so let me fold my fabric into two, fold it into two, and I'm going to mark 2 inches from here. Or between 1 inch to 2 inches. Let me use 1.5, so that I'll have total of 3 inches at the end of the day. Can you see? I don't know if you can see, it's just very faint. So just mark 1.5 inches. All right, so I'm going to start stitching from here. All right, I'm going to start stitching from here. When I get to this place, I will take it down, then stitch this end. I'll take it like this. I'll just follow this pattern the way it is. All right, I'm going to take this pattern the way it is, stitch from here down to this place, all the way down, then I'll stop here in this 2 inches mark. All right, so let me quickly do that and show you. All right, so I have sequins here, and it measures, I think, 20 inches. Okay, it measures 17 inches by 12 inches. So I'm going to stitch it this way. Okay, this is the length. I'm going to make it so that the length will be together like that, stitch on the length. So let me quickly do that off camera and show you. So I have done that, and I have turned to the right part. This is what I have now. As you can see, it's well sewn. So what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to tie it. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but there's no particular pattern towards tying it. Just do it the way you want. Okay. So now after tying it, I'm going to pass it through this sewn fabric. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to turn to the right part of this. Okay, so this is basically how it's going to be. This is it. This is the right part of the fabric. So I'm going to pass it through this hole. Okay, it's going to pass through that loop, then just like that. So I'm going to put it together like that and stitch. All right, I'm going to stitch these two pieces together, then after that I'll get back to you. So I have gone ahead to stitch it. So this is it. Now I'm going to loosen this knot a bit so that it will look more relaxed. So I'm going to loosen it so that it will look more relaxed on the head. So this is it. You can go ahead and tack this plate, tack it down to the base, and your turban cap is ready. So thank you. This is what I have. So now I've turned to the back of the fabric to finalize it. All right, so I'm going to start my running stitches from this end. All right, from this end down to this end, and I'm going to stop before the band. Okay, so this is it. I'm going to do it like that. Insert my needle in and out, just like that until I get to the end. All right, so I am doing it on the allowance side, not on the main turban cap. So let me quickly do that off camera and show you how it looks. So I'm done gathering it. The next thing I'm going to do is to secure it. So this is it. I'm going to tie it here and cut out the excess thread, and your turban cap is ready. All right, so thank you very much for watching this tutorials. I'm so grateful to have you. We have on our mannequin head, and this is how the back looks like. This is the back. Then the next thing I'm going to do now is that I'm going to tack this to the base and the frame together inside, like from inside, and I'm going to do that in such a way that it will not appear here, just invisible tacking. Then I tack it down, then tack this place also, then the turban cap is ready. So thank you very much for watching this training. All right, so do have a nice day. Bye.